Hey, it's Jonesie here at JETTER Northwest again. I want to talk about the three major things that can destroy your JETTER pump. Really doesn't matter what brand you have. If you're, number one, if your JETTER pump holds oil, which most of them do, you've got to keep obviously that oil level up and you've got to keep that oil level clean. But two major things that can destroy a pump are cavitation and thermal shock. Let's unpack what those are. Cavitation. A lot of people misunderstand this, but as you get into look at inside of a pump, as this piston goes back, these pumps really don't like to suck in water. They need to kind of have the water flood into them from a water tank, or again, your smaller jetters have a garden hose pushing water in. As this piston goes back, if that water doesn't freely get in there, the water is going to separate into vapor for just an instant, and that piston just an instant later comes slamming forward, and it's really like a hammer hitting the inside of the pump. And most of these pumps are running 1,500 to 3,000 RPM. That's 1,500, 3,000 hammer strokes a minute, times 3 if you got 3 pistons. It's horrible to cavitate your pump. And what causes it is typically you didn't clean your water filter, and water filters can clog at any moment. You might have cleaned it in the morning, but if a leaf gets in there, you know, something fell inside your water tank, a glove or something, and it gets in here, it's going to stop up the water flow to the pump. Again, we need the water to freely go into the pump. Maybe something fell into the water tank and it's clogging the outflow. You really want to watch that nothing gets in your tank and that your strainer filter is clean. It's so easy to clean a strainer, as we've talked about before. So that's what causes cavitation, is restriction of the water getting into the pump. The third thing is related, is what we call thermal shock. Say your pump has run dry for a while. You forgot to open up the water valve, you just didn't fill it up, you ran out of water. It's not death to have the pistons moving back and forth when it's out of water. The seals right in here do get dried out if you leave it, but the main thing is if your pump has been running dry for a while and it's a piston pump like this, and you realize, wow, I forgot to get the water going to it, or I've been out of water, don't just turn on the cold water and have it come into the hot pump. Just shut down, let it cool down until you can comfortably hold the brass or the head end of the pump. When you can comfortably hold the end of the pump, it's good to go to restart again. So thermal shock, again, is not so much from just running dry, it's from the cold water coming into a hot pump. And for those of you that have jetters that don't draw off a water tank, maybe have a garden hose feed, this is another problem. When you don't have a water tank to cool the pump while it's recirculating, you know, you're not jetting, you've turned off the jetting, maybe run your camera, taking a look, and the pump is just recirculating. That generates heat. If you've been recirculating water and you don't have a water tank to keep that cool, you want to, say it's been recirculating, oh, I've been recirculating for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Just double check by grabbing the head of the pump. And if it's, ow, just shut down and let things cool down and you won't have thermal shock. So again, those are the three things you want to definitely avoid. Keep clean oil in your pumps. Make sure water can freely flow to your pump. And if it runs dry, or if it runs in recirc mode for too long, just double check by putting hand on the pump. If it's hot, just let it cool down, and you should be all right. All right, hope that helps you get jetting. Thanks for watching. Have a super day.